Yo, what is going on, Team Tweedie? I hope you're all super well. Welcome to episode 20 of Hashtag Ask Tweedie, the football show where you guys send in your questions and I answer them to the best of my ability, try and give you guys as much value as possible. Every episode we answer 3 questions, and on top of that, I also give you guys a little bit of insight about what's going on in the journey, because as you know, it's about 2 or 3 days ahead. So the video that you saw this morning, or today's video, that was from Thursday. Was it Thursday? No, that was from Saturday, and today's Tuesday. So wow, that's 4 days. I need to catch up on that. Double upload this Saturday, fingers crossed, maybe, we'll see. This is completely unedited. 3 questions, smash into it. I just want to give you a brief outline of what's going on though. Today I trained. We played a match in training on Monday. I did very well there. I got moved from the B team into the A team, like during the session at half time. Now we have a match tomorrow against Brentford development squad. I'm still not sure whether that's the development squad or the B team, like the under 23, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, some exciting stuff happening. I'm not going to give it all away, otherwise what's the point? So starting off this episode, let me get to the questions. Here we go. Hey Sheldon, quick question. Why do I keep losing the ball when I'm running with it? It keeps on happening lately. Any tips or training I should try? So if you guys watched my latest game video where I got a goal and an assist, a lot of times I was dribbling the ball and my touch would be too big. Not a lot of times, a few times realistically. And that's partly just being out of real matches for a long time. Usually my dribbling is a lot better than that. Partly down to the pitch, the weather. There's a lot of things that I'm not trying to make them excuses, but I'm just trying to tell you about the situation, because playing on an artificial grass in the sunshine is a lot easier than playing in a muddy pitch with rain and the first game in 2 months. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. I had this problem a lot maybe 3 years ago, and what I did is I looked at Messi and I looked at how he dribbled. I thought, okay, how can I just do that by myself? Because he's practicing this at trainings all the time. He's obviously done it a lot. So what I did is I put cones like this, cones, maybe like 25, 30 meters all up, having breaks in between. And I would just literally snake in and out of them just like that until I got to the end. And I would make sure I do it at a very high speed, almost sprinting, and making sure I'm using the laces dash outside of my foot. If you watch Messi dribble, then he dribbles with that exact part of the foot, and he's able to keep control of it. And what I noticed was the reason I did it was because when I was dribbling the ball as an attacking midfielder, as you guys know, I love driving forward, and that means I need good control. So when I got to a centre back, my touch might have been just a little bit too big, and then he can jump in for the tackle. It's so important that you have close touches so that when he jumps in, you can tap it to the side and beat him. So I just continuously did that, top speed. I'd have a break at the other end, making sure that I'm not fully recovered, but I'm recovered. Then I go again, because that's the time where you're really going to improve. Just get those touches in, lots of touches, but make sure it's controlled. And then at any point during that dribble, maybe if you have someone with you, they can yell yes, or you can picture it yourself. But let's say you have someone and they say yes, then you have to immediately turn away or turn to the side, something like that. Or if you're by yourself, what you can do is dribble and then picture something in your head. Using your imagination is so important. Using your imagination in football training by yourself is so important, because you have to be dribbling and then you have to think in your head, okay, there's a defender there, I need to touch it to the side. So that's another thing you can do. I hope that answered your question, because that's what I did and it seemed to help. Just make sure you always do it like once every second day. You'll see improvements, always pushing for top speed. And it doesn't mean you go like this. I don't want to see you just go up, down, up, down, up, down. That doesn't make sense. Go up at 100% weight, 100% weight, 100% weight. It's not like you have 20 seconds rest here, 15 seconds rest here. Just take your time with it. Make sure that when you do it, you're going 100%. So that's my advice for that one. Next question. By the way, guys, if you want me to shout out your Instagram or whatever your name on YouTube, make sure you put make sure you say that in your comment or in your Instagram message or Snapchat message, whatever, because some of you guys might want to hear your name. I don't know. Let me know. Hey, I'm going to try out for one of the best teams in my region. I was invited for a practice. Anyway, any way I could prepare myself for it other than playing soccer, of course. So, preparation for a trial. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this question like it's asked, preparation for a trial, but I'm also going to look at it when you're in the trial. So leading up to a trial, of course, you just need to be yourself. A lot of players try and do different things, but you know, just picture it as it's a match, because you're going there and it's it is difficult because you only get one shot sometimes. You go to the trial, you get one shot, and if it doesn't work out, then out the door. I think that's really difficult on players. I think there should be like a minimum of 3-day trials, and then they start to cut players, because one day you can just have an off day. Everyone has off days, and that sucks. But that's just football. So leading up to it, I would say, man, try not to worry about it. The biggest thing I think about when going into trials is learning. So, for example, with the match tomorrow against Brentford, if we're versing the under-23s, they're the best under-23s in the whole of the UK, I think. Don't take my word from it, but I've heard some very good things. They have like Manchester City players and players from all over the world. They beat Manchester City under-23s, they beat Benfica under-23s, Bayern Munich, they drew 1-1, and they're championship under-23s. So they're very, very good. And going into that match, look, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm focused on learning and trying to see what they do differently to me, because if you're focused on, okay, this is my one opportunity, this is all I got, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But if you can get into the mindset of, okay, I'm playing against these guys, or I'm trialing on Wednesday, how can I prepare myself? Okay, I'm just going to focus on learning. And that may mean, let's say you're going for a trial and you know you're better than some of the players, but you don't get picked. The learning comes in when you speak to the coach afterwards and say, hey, John, what do I need to do to improve in order to get in next year, or in order to come back for another trial in training? And that's the most important thing, because if you don't say anything to the coaches, you're not going to get anywhere. You need feedback, you need to know what your weaknesses are, and you guys hammer me on my weaknesses, and I work on it. So I try to play it simple now, like you guys said in the other video. Sometimes I try to create things and that doesn't work, so I don't need to force it. So I'm always getting feedback from you guys, I'm getting feedback from my Crawley coach, the players around me, and I absorb all of that. So that's the biggest thing, learning. And like I said, I'm playing against, could be playing against one of the best under-23s in the country, which is an amazing opportunity. But you guys could be playing against, I don't know, your school team, and you don't get picked. Speak to the coach, because he has a reason for why he didn't pick you. So go in there, play your game, afterwards assess the situation, see what you need to do in order to learn. That's my advice. Question number 3. What we got here? Oh, I like this one. How many quality, oh my goodness, how many quality touches on the ball should I need to do each day in order to become a pro? Now, I like this question because it's such a bad question. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say no because I don't know if you want your name shout out, but it's such a bad question, because how can you specifically put a number of touches per day? I think that's very silly. I've never in my life gone, I'm going to touch the ball 10,342 times today. No, it just doesn't work like that. I think even with time as well, when players say how many hours should I be training a day, it completely depends on, number one, your body. For example, today I'm not going to go and do an extra session because I have a game tomorrow. But even if I wanted to, it would be silly because my leg's really hurting. So that's one thing. The second thing is, do you have team training? Do you need to prepare yourself for a team training? Because if you're doing an individual training in the morning and then you're getting to team training at night, are you going to be tired for that session? I don't know. These are things you need to think about. But if you're looking at the number of quality touches, that doesn't make sense to me, because when you go into a session, especially individual sessions, it should always have a challenge aspect to it. So you see, when I do wall juggling, I'm always trying to reach a new record. So if I have 101 touch, I always want to beat that. Every single day I'm thinking, okay, I want to beat that, I want to beat that. When can I next do it? When can I next do it? I want to get out there. I think that's the most important thing. If you're doing shooting, have 10 shots. If you get 5 shots in the corners, okay, go again. See if you can set a target for each day. Once you reach that target, go, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna get 9. And I don't think it should come down to time. It should more come down to what your body is feeling, the sort of training that you're doing. Like the other day, one of my first sessions back at Crawley, we did 3 hours, but I was feeling okay. I didn't feel too bad. We did a lot of shooting. We kept it, how would you say? We didn't keep it challenged, but, well, we did up until the last 45 minutes where we did shooting, but I wanted to work on shooting. So, you know, quality touches. And then again, this goes back to the 10,000 hour thing, where 10,000 hours to master a single skill. Like, I understand that concept. I think it's real to an extent, but if you look at football, how can you narrow that down to 10,000 hours? There are so many different skills that you would have to spend 10,000 hours on. You'd have to spend 10,000 hours on your first touch, 10,000 hours on your 1v1s, 10,000 hours on your dribbling, 10,000 hours on your shooting. So to narrow it down and say, I need to do 10,000 hours training, it just doesn't make sense. There's so many different aspects of it. And you look at players like Neymar, and Neymar just sticks in my head because I assume that he would have done everything he could when he was younger to reach the level he's at now. Training in the street, playing football with his friends, playing football at school, playing football in lunchtime breaks. There's so many different things that you can do to reach that level. Don't just base it on time. Try and just put yourself in football. Like, I go to the park, I never time myself, and I kind of go, oh man, what time did I get here? I have no idea. I don't even say I'm going to go for 45 minutes. I don't say I'm going for an hour. I just go, and then when I feel like I need to stop, I stop. As simple as that. So that is going to conclude episode 20. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like. Also, send in your questions. Very exciting vlog coming in. Man, fair few days for you guys, but tomorrow is going to be sick. I'm going to try and catch up with a double upload on Saturday. I'll see about that. But if you're new to this whole Ask Tweedie thing, every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. England time, London time, whatever it is, it will go up on the channel. So make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Join the hashtag Ask Tweedie family, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.